Hey guys, welcome back to Kids for Code. Today we'll be going over logical operators and conditionals for Python. So first we'll look at logical operators. So we have mathematical operators and Boolean operators. And we use mathematical operators to compare like data, so like ints, floats. You can also use strings actually. But here you can see the different kinds of comparisons we can do. So we can check if they're equal, not equal, greater than, less than, and so on. And then we have Boolean operators. So we have and, not, and or as our three operators we're going to cover. So if we have A is true and B is false, so the way and works is both sides of the and have to be true in order for the entire thing to be true. So if we have true on this side but false on this side, then the entire thing is going to end up being false, which is the case because A is true and B is false. Whereas if B is true and A is true as well, then the entire thing would become true. But that's not the case here. So OR works a little bit differently. So for OR, at least one of them has to be true, one of the sides. So here we have A is true and B is false. So that's good. The entire thing would become true because only one of them has to be true, at least one. Both of them can be true and it would also evaluate to true. So yeah, just be mindful of that. And then finally, we have not. And not basically just takes whatever you have in A or whatever variable you have here and just flips it. So in this case, A is true. So not A would make the entire thing false. And not B, so B is false in this case, that would make the entire thing true. So it just flips whatever you have there. And okay, so now we're going to go over what conditional statements actually are. So often we only want a certain portion of our code to execute. So rather than every single line, so we want to kind of control which parts of the code we want to run, and that all depends on conditions. So that's why they're called conditional statements because they allow us to control which part runs based on conditions. So in English, it would be like, if I am hungry, then I will eat some food. Else, or otherwise, I will not eat now. So if I am hungry is true, uh, if that ends up being true, then I'll eat food. However, if I'm not hungry, then I won't eat. So it's the same concept as that. So if we look at the diagram on the right, we have A, which is our condition, and we'll say it's true for now. So if A is true, then B will execute. If not, if A is false, then C will execute. So that's basically what I just described in English here, except in a diagram. And this is how we actually write them in Python. So we have to use the tab key in order to make the code under the if statement. So it's binded to that if statement. So the code in indent here will only execute if the if statement is true. And we also put a colon at the end of every single conditional statement. And there's actually three types we'll cover today. So the first kind is an if statement. So it's just simply if some condition is true, then it'll execute the code. And remember, some condition, it has to become a Boolean. It has to be a Boolean. We can't have like if two, like the number two. That doesn't make sense. We can have if two is greater than four or if two is less than four. So it has to either be true or false inside some condition. And we can also have very mathematical expressions. So we can have like age plus one maybe. And we'll see that in an example later. And this is also where we use our logical operators. So all those that I showed you earlier, like equals equals, not equals, greater than, less than, etc. You can all use that inside an if statement or any conditional statement. So that's our if statement. Now we also have this thing called an else statement. And an else statement is basically a piece of code that's executed if the if statement is false. So if some condition ends up being false, then it automatically goes down and executes the code in else. And for else, you have to remember nothing is checked. There's no condition inside the else. It's just simply if the if above it is false, then the else is executed. So that's pretty much it. And also one thing to remember, if the if statement is true, then the else is skipped. So it's not looked at all. Now we have a third kind called an elif statement, and it's kind of a mix between the two. So basically, all it does is it just gives us another condition to check. So we can check another condition if the if above it is false. So it's basically like another else in the sense that it jumps to it after the one above it is false, but it checks for a condition. So if the first condition is false, then it'll go to the elif, and then it'll check the elif condition. So and then if the elif is true, then the else is skipped, um, and and yeah, the code is executed. So you always just want to think of an else as like a fail-safe. So if everything above it is false, then the else is executed. So now you might be asking, why can't we just use all ifs instead of elif? So why can't we just change this elif into an if? So the short answer, I will show this in PyCharm a bit later, but the short answer is, so you can, um, but whenever an if or elif condition is met, so it's true, then the rest of the chain or the rest of the ladder is skipped over. So everything below it after that condition is true would be skipped. It won't be checked at all if you had all elifs. So if we take this example, so we can say if I like strawberries, we'll say that's false. Okay, then it'll say if I like mangoes, and I'll say that's true. So then I'll order mango ice cream, and then these two are skipped. These two below the mango statement are skipped. Whereas if I had all ifs, then it would check every single one, even though one of them ends up being true. So let's see it in code. So I will go into PyCharm after this quick example. So we have favorite fruit has a string value of mango because they're quotes, remember? So we can check if favorite fruit is equal to strawberry. So this is where our conditional statements come up. So, or logical operators. So this will give us a Boolean. So the equals equals makes it so that whatever is inside the if statement returns a Boolean, right? We can't just have like if favorite fruit. It doesn't make sense. You have to check if it's like equal to something or not equal, and so on. So remember to indent. You have to indent in order for the code to be considered part of the if statement. So if we go through this ladder here, we'll just trace through this code. So favorite fruit is mango. That's false because mango is not equal to strawberry. So then it checks the next one, goes to elif, and then mango equal mango. That's correct. So then it'll print your order as mango ice cream. And then remember, because these are all elifs, because it's an elf, then these two at the bottom are skipped. All right, so I will go into PyCharm now. And this is a quick example I typed up. So uh, remember, so we're using input. We learned this last time. And remember, since input doesn't matter what you type in it, you can type in a number or words. Input will store your whatever you typed as a string. And we don't want that here because we'll be comparing their ages, which are numerical values. So that's why we need to typecast to an int here, because we want a numerical value of their age and not the string value. So yeah, don't forget to do that because it will make your code run the wrong way. So if I run this, what's Bob's age? We'll say like maybe like 20. Joe's age, we'll say like 18. And then boom, prints out the correct part. Bob is older than Joe because 20 is greater than 18, right here. 20 greater than 18. And then notice since this is an elif, then this condition won't be checked at all. And because an else is only checked if all above is false. So this is not looked at either. So if I were to run this again and put in different stuff, so I'll say maybe like 1 and 1, so they're the same age. Um, then you see this one ends up being false, so therefore this is not printed. Checks the next one. Bob age equals Joe age. That's true because they're both 1 years old. So it'll print out they're the same age. And then because this ended up being true, the else is skipped. Okay, and now if I'll make the else execute here. So if I type in 1 and I said Joe is 2, then the else is executed. Joe is older than Bob because both of these conditions are false. And the only one left is the else. So Joe is older than Bob, which is also the only other possible outcome in this scenario. Okay, and now back to slideshow. So this is an interesting example. You have to be very careful here. So favorite fruit is mango. However, mango is in all caps, all capitalized. And in Python, when you check like equals equals, for example, or not equals, greater than, all that stuff, it is case sensitive. It's kind of a trick question here. The only code.xu here is your order is vanilla ice cream, because everything above it is false. All three of these statements are end up false because, um, well, obviously mango is not equal to strawberry, but when you get to capital mango equals lowercase mango, that's actually false. Um, so then that won't execute, and this is obviously false as well. So the only code.xu is the else here. And now this is an example with and or are Boolean operators. So we have A equals true in this case, B equals false. And if we check the first one, if A and B, so remember with and, both sides of the and have to be true in order for the entire thing to be true. And remember, if the entire thing is true here, that means that this will print out. And that's not the case here. So we have true and false, and that will end up being false ultimately. So then we'll go to the next one. So elif A or B. So remember for or, at least one of them has to be true. They can both be true, that's fine. Then here we do have one of them true, which is A. So that means that this will print out. And remember the else is skipped because this ended up being true. And we'll go over this example too. So if not A, and then if not B. And remember, not, all it does is it just takes whatever you put behind it and then flips that value. So A's value is true and not true is false. So it just flips it. So then the entire thing ended up being false, and therefore the if statement's not executed, or it's not, the code inside is not executed because the if statement ended up being false. So then we'll check the next one, if not B, and the opposite of false, remember B is false up here, is true. So that means that it'll execute the code here, so not B is true. Okay, and this is a pretty practical example of how we use conditionals and logical math Boolean operators together. So we have age equals 12 here, and then is birthday equals true. So let's look at the first one. So if is birthday, and we know this is and here, remember for the and, both sides have to be true. So that means is birthday has to be true, and along with all of this, this mathematical comparison has to be true as well. So birthday is true, right? That's good. So let's check the other one. So age up here, we said age is 12. So 12 plus 1 greater than or equal to 13. That's good to go. So that means both sides are true, and this line will execute. Happy birthday, you are a teen. And because this is true, the elifs below it are all skipped because they're elifs. Um, and remember, if these were all if statements, then it would check every single one. Even if one of them ends up being true, it will continue checking. Whereas here we skipped it because the first one ended up being true. So if we look at the second one, is birthday and age plus 1 less than 13. So it's just saying it is your birthday. That's right. However, you didn't meet the condition of being a teen. So that means that you're younger than 13, and therefore you're not a teen. And then this last one's a little bit interesting. So elif not is birthday. So that means that it flips whatever is birthday is. So if is birthday was true, then it wouldn't. Then the entire thing would end up being false because the opposite of true is false. However, if is birthday is false, that means that's not your birthday. Then the opposite of false is true. So that means that it's true that it's not your birthday. So that's why it works. And I'll go over the difference between if and elif just one more time, just because it's very important to know. So I'll go over this example. So if we look at this, we have A less than B, and then we have B less than C, A less than C, and our values are pretty simple, just 3, 2, 1 in A, B, and C respectively. So if we compare 3 greater than 2, that's good. And then since these are all ifs rather than elifs, then it would check every single one. So you're about to see what I mean when I run this code. So here you see 3 less than 2, or sorry, 3 greater than 2. That's good to go. And it doesn't just stop there. It goes through every single one. So this is also good to go, right? And so is this. So they all end up executing. Whereas if I put elifs here and run it, as you can see, the first one is true. Not sure why it's like that. Okay. So the first one ends up being true, and then that's it. The other two below it are skipped because one of them ended up being true. So only the first print statement here would execute. So that's the difference between if and elif. Now if I were to make this false, so let's add a not. Oops, not. Okay. If I add a not there, then if I run it, you'll see that the second one is executed, because 3 greater than 2, that 3 is greater than 2, that this is true. But then the not makes the entire thing false. So A is, so this will not execute. And then since this is false, then it'll jump to the next one. So B greater than C, that's true. It prints that out and skips the last one because this one ended up being true. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. If you have any questions, please send us an email or message us in Google Classroom, and we'll try to get back to you. So yeah, with that, thanks for watching and bye. See you guys next time.